is there any secret on how to do overlay on convex nails without making them look too bulky? There definitely is, so let's transform these nails. Hello guys, this is Anastasia and this is what clients' nails look like. Previous overlay is pretty good, but there is something off about the nail shape, right? It looks kind of different. Some nails look very wide while some of them are more narrow. This is a very common problem with convex nails because they have extreme C-curve, so it's usually very tricky to apply the product so they will not look too thick. If we take a closer look, we can also see some flooding of the cuticle, and this will definitely lead to product lifting. You can see that the color is pretty close to the cuticle, so this overlay is pretty fresh, but it's already lifting. And I can also see the uneven color in the center, and this is probably because this nail technician tried to apply less product in the center, so the nails will not be too thick and ended up filing off some color. Oh wow, I didn't expect that there's that much product on the free edge. So let's start the transformation. First, we're going to file them shorter, since we're going to transform these nails into square shape. This tutorial was recorded by my former student Anna. She's using carbide bead with green abrasive mark to remove the color. At first, we thought that this overlay is really not that thick, but as we file off more, now it's clear that there was too much product on the free edge, and this is one of the reasons why the shape and overlay overall looked so bulky. Now that the product is off, you can see that this client, her nails are actually so pretty. She has long nail beds and they're pretty narrow, which means also any nail shape will be perfectly suitable for her. Let's start off by pushing back the cuticles with orange wood stick, and looks like we have something here. Right under the cuticle, we can see this over-filed area. Luckily, it's not that deep, so it's not too bad. But when her previous nail technician was doing manicure, supposedly they were using electric nail file too, and they were pressing too much. And this is the reason why you can see this ridge. When you do it at first, it is going to be under the cuticle, so it's not really visible. Once the nails grow longer, after about 2 to 3 weeks, this ridge will be more visible. So we are being super careful here by doing prep and dry manicure to not damage or overfile the nail even more, but we need to clean all the dry skin and the nail plate because nail prep is super important. It actually determines on how long the overlay or extensions are going to last. In my opinion, convex nails are actually one of the most trickiest nails to work with, especially when doing overlay, not extensions, because they look so pretty, but they also have this dramatic curve. So in order to seal it, we need to apply a thin layer of product, but it also needs to be thick enough in the apex area so the overlay is going to last. But with this client, we cannot just take the color and apply it on top because every nail has a slightly different shape. And since we want perfect, identical square nails, we are going to add some product on the free edge and on the sidewalls. The final part of the dry manicure is trimming dry skin with a sphere-shaped bead with blue abrasive mark. I'm always happy to share all the information, what kind of beads we're using, the speed, the color bands, but please guys be careful because this information works for this particular client, but it doesn't mean that it will be suitable for everyone because every client has a different skin type, cuticle type, and we also need to consider our experience, so this may vary. Now we have clean nails after prep, so let's add some products so they will have perfect identical shape. Whenever you want to add some product on the free edge or along the sidewalls, I strongly recommend you to use hard gel instead of soft gel because we are building the structure. Even though this is technically an overlay, we're still adding some product outside of the natural nail. So with the hard gel, it is going to be much stronger. So then we applied dehydrator, non-acid primer, and base coat, cured it, and this is what the gel looks like. It's thick consistency, and consistency is really a matter of preference. If the gel is thick, it doesn't mean that it's going to be stronger. So it's really up to you. There are some thin consistency runny gels that are still considered hard gels, so they're going to be strong too. But in my opinion, it's much easier to do this with a thick viscosity gel because it's not really moving anywhere. It's slightly self-leveling, so you can still manage to create a relatively good surface, but you're able to add the product on the sides. Let's say her index finger was looking way more narrow compared to the others, so we need to build in some structure. Also, with convex nails, most nails are slightly curving downwards. And the easiest way to fix that is to add a little extra product on the top and then file off some product underneath. Cure for 1 minute, and then we're going to remove this sticky layer and file and shape the nails. And yes, that's right, the product application is not finished yet. We did not apply anything near the cuticle yet, but we are going to file and shape them now instead of doing it in the end, and soon you will understand why. So it's okay to use a carbide bit because this way is going to be way faster. So we are filing the nail, then we're using a hand file to do the sidewalls as well as the free edge. Recently, this shape, short, sharp square, is so popular, and honestly, I don't really understand why, because I think it was trending back in the early 2000s and probably it's back. I don't really know, guys. Let me know what do you think about squares. So after filing and shaping, we need to add some product near the cuticle and build some apex in the center. So this time we're going to use a different kind of gel. This is also hard gel, but hard gel in the bottle, and it has thinner consistency and the same milky shade. Since we're going to apply the color on top later, it doesn't really matter if the colors are perfectly matching. I mean, if you have a thick consistency gel and then you want to do the same but you don't have the exact matching color, if you're going to cover them up, then who cares? But keep in mind that if you use a hard gel underneath, it is better to use a hard gel on top also. It's absolutely fine to sometimes combine soft gel and hard gel, but it's one thing when we have hard gel on the bottom and soft gel on top, but when it's like half-half, I would not recommend it. So that's it. We don't need to file and shape anything anymore. And after building the structure, we're going to use this beautiful cat eye gel polish right on top. Apply one coat. It is better to choose cat eye colors that have a great coverage within just one coat, because once we magnetize them, we really want to keep this shine on top. And then we're going to recreate the look, which is all over my Instagram feed, like everyone is doing it. So we do cat eye gel polish first, and then we add some beautiful jelly colors such as this cherry red, which will be perfect for holiday season. And if you're thinking, why couldn't you just take cherry red with glitter? There are so many colors like this. Well, honestly, that's what I thought at the beginning too. I mean, what a weird trend, but trust me, guys, it looks completely different, especially in a real life when you have cat eye on the bottom and jelly on color. This is a completely different type of glow, and I'm loving it and planning to try this with more colors in the future. But do not forget to seal all the cat eye, otherwise it's not going to look as great. So it's okay to use a detailer brush on top. And finally, we're going to add some accents with a silver gel paint. I'm not really sure how am I supposed to call this style of French nails when you don't really fill it up with the color, but only add the lines. Let me know in the comments if you have some ideas of how it should be properly called. And then we thought that it's going to be a bit boring if we do the exact same thing on each nail. That's why on middle and index finger, we are going to do only half of the smile line. I think at this point it's pretty hard to tell that this client used to have convex nails because this shape looks so different now. And of course, we are going to seal the design with a glossy top coat, because this look with cat eye underneath looks the best when you have this glossy shine. Let me guys know what do you think about this technique and about this design. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time here on my channel, consider subscribing, as I post nail art tutorials just like this one every week.